Good evening, Faye, uh, Felicia's Clark. Good evening to you. Pretty Saucy is here, like always. Karen Porter is in the house. Wonderful picture you sent in today for Malia, Karen. Thank you, big time. Miller is in the house. Good evening to you. Tracy Taylor. Good evening. Uh, Miss Pop 25. I hope I got that right. Good evening to you. Miss Brown, thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. My good friend Lisa Robinson, who else would she be but right here with me tonight? Thank you kindly. Ruby Perez, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. Is that Arlene from Plano, Texas? Good evening and welcome. I humbly bow to you. Hot Pink, good evening to you. There is Timothy Davis, I think that says Timothy. I know that name from somewhere. Oh, that's my brother. What's up, baby? I love you big time. Thanks for tuning in. That's my baby brother, Timmy Lopez. I love you big time, brother. Appreciate you. Miss Miller, you are indeed welcome. She says that she's glad we are talking about this case tonight. Indeed, you are welcome. There is Miss Keisha. Good evening to you. Okay, let us get started because we have a lot of material to cover for the night. But the one thing that we must do, if we don't do anything else, if my voice go out tonight, I have to do this first. Last year, around about the same time, I'm told that a cute little girl from Houston, Texas, was celebrating her fourth birthday. And had Maleah Lynn Davis not been murdered today, she would have celebrated her fifth birthday. Malia, we love you big time. Um, I'm so sorry for what happened to you, but I know now that you're safe, you're in the arms of God, and you're okay now. When God got tired, that's when you got your rest. We love you big time, Malia. And my promise to you uh, will be kept until the day I die. As long as I live, your story will never die. Now, to all of you, I ask you all to go crazy on social media with pics and stories about Malia today. And you did it. 1,000,000%. I love you guys big time. I went and looked at some of the YouTubers' videos that they did, commented on some of them. One of them really touched me and I cried. I think it's a 4-minute video. It's by Spit and Fire put it together. And I looked at it earlier today. And after that, I had to log off and get myself together. This is a little girl that I've never met, and many of you have never met. But she touched us in a very, very deep way, and she's still in our hearts and stuff. So, Maleah Lynn Davis, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you felt the blanket of love today being shown to you from people that care, and we love you. Again, I thank you all for what you did today. Gayle King. Gayle King is out of order. Again, as I was just speaking with our guest for the night, we were talking about Gayle King's remarks. And then she tried to come back and do damage control. She made it worse. I always say you can think whatever you want to think. It's just not always good to say what you're thinking. I don't care who you are or how much money you have or how popular you are or how much power you have. Once you say something, you cannot unsay it. It's out there then. And I don't need you to come and do damage control and say we got it wrong. I watched the video from beginning to end. I don't know about others, but I didn't get it wrong. You tried to make the lady say something that she didn't want to say. And in so many words, she checked your ass right there. I don't know what would phantom you to even want to think about bringing up that past incident with Kobe Bryant. That's over and done with. The wife didn't leave. They stayed together until death did them part. It bothers me when people try to get their ratings up by other people's misfortunes or mistakes in life or their past or whatever and stuff. Some of you have to realize this here. Some things you just got to let go. If you're looking for me in my past, you'll never find me. You got to meet me in the here and now. Gayle King, you were out of order. You were out of order with R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, and now again, you're out of order. I just want to know, when will you and Oprah do something on freaky ass Harvey Weinstein, who started out with over 80 women alleging sexual misconduct from him, from everything from patting him on the ass to outright rape? When will you do a story on Harvey Weinstein? We can be our worst damn enemy. You're always trying to take the black man down. You letting this $11 million go to your fucking head. But let me tell you something. You're not really there because they want your ass there. You got an impressive resume, but affirmative action made it possible for somebody to read that impressive resume that you have. But don't you ever think that you in because you in there. Don't you ever think that. And I find it disturbing. It's distasteful, it's diabolical, and you degraded your damn self by doing that. The man died with his daughter in a helicopter crash. What happened some years ago, it don't fucking matter. It's simple as that. Everybody's got a secret. Everybody's got a past. I just pray to God somebody soon pull your curtain back and look at some of the shit you've done. The white man don't need your help to put us down and keep us down. They don't. You're out of order. Snoop Dogg asked, could he say it? And I said, yeah, said it. And he said, bitch. Lil Boosie got you. Bill Cosby on your ass. LeBron James is out talking about you. 50 Cent is now speaking out against you. You're out of order. You're out of order. And there's just some things you do that cannot be fixed. We don't need you to apologize for something you're going to do probably tomorrow around about the same time again, because you're known for doing that shit. You're trifling. You're insignificant. I had to get that out. I have a gentleman on the line tonight, and we tried about 2 weeks ago to get him to come on, and the date was set, but there was a conflict in scheduling, so we had to reschedule him. His wife inboxed me again last night. When is he coming? When is he coming? And to God be the glory. I have the brother on the line right now. In 2014, a 8-year-old black girl in Washington, D.C. went missing. She would later be seen on surveillance video at a hotel with a grown man. Shortly after that, that grown man, the alleged kidnapper, wife, would turn up dead inside of a hotel room. A few days after that, the alleged kidnapper himself would be found in a shed, dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. But where is 8-year-old Relisha? Where is she at? Nobody knows. The gentleman that's on the line, kind of like what I did with Malia, he made a promise. He made a promise to the 8-year-old girl that he would keep her story alive. And here's what the Washington Post said about Keith Davis. It said Keith Davis made a promise to a girl that he had never met. 5 years ago, he vowed that he would keep talking about Relisha, reminding people through a weekly internet show that she is still missing. It would have been an easy promise to break, to let fade away with time. But on Friday, on the anniversary of Relisha's missing, there was Keith Davis keeping his word, thinking about what music to play for her on his upcoming show. He planned to play songs by Michael Jackson because that was her favorite artist. He decided to add Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars to the mix because she loved to dance. Keith David said that his hope was that by talking about her, people would keep thinking about her and would keep looking for her. Keith Davis, good evening, my brother. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you so much.
And also, I salute you because you are an ex-Marine, so we thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure.
Uh, I spoke with a grandmother a couple of weeks ago, Miss Young, but I know you have had interviews with, I think, probably basically everybody in the family. I know you've spoken with the mother a few times on the disappearance of her daughter. So give us a brief background on you and your radio show, and then tell us how you got involved in this case.
For 15 years, I've had my own podcast, starting off as just talking about my first love, which is professional wrestling, and doing another love of mine, which is DJing as well. I started off doing a show kind of like this one where we talked about what was going on in the news today. We called it the Davis Experience. When I got wind of Relisha's case, it was just 2 weeks old. I thought I would do a 3-day piece on it, but once I learned more and more about the case, I wanted to jump in and do more about it. This case touched me in so many ways because of the fact that Relisha didn't have a chance. She didn't. She was an innocent young girl, and I know how it feels to even have a missing person in the family. My own cousin, Unique Harris, has been missing since 2010. And before Relisha went missing, I was advocating for Relisha, for my cousin already, which started me to become a missing persons advocate for all missing persons, not only in the DMV area, but wherever it's needed. I've dealt with different things with this case. In the middle, when I started doing this case, I was in a nursing home recuperating from problems that I was having from being in a coma for 6 months and relearning how to walk and talk again. I had started the radio show while in the nursing facility. I was in that nursing facility for 3 years, and at first I started off on Shamika, Melissa, Antonio on their side.
Okay.
Not knowing the whole truth about the whole situation. Now, once I learned some things and started seeing who was more at fault, things really, it started getting twists and turns and everything. Once we learned how the stories flipped so many ways, because at first it started off with one story, and next thing you know, an inkling of things changed in the story, and then when it went from just a little bit of things to a whole lot of things changing.
Okay.
And like I said, this case, as I always say on my show, it's a three-ring circus. And I say that because the family are the key to knowing or to telling where the hell his baby is, or even what happened to her. There's so much finger pointing and pointing the blame at each other and who had her last and where she was last and this, that, and the other and everything. And it's at a point now where the family have bashed me and my team. They have came after us, threats and things like that. And me personally, I quite enjoy it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It has made the show the most controversial, uncut, and unscripted podcast out there. We've even gotten an award for Podcast of the Year for our rawness. I've had all of them on the show.
Okay.
Even at one time, I've had the kidnapper, his family members. I've had the niece and the nephew on the show.
Okay.
When I had them on the show, that's when Shamika made her debut. And she started asking questions that had really nothing to do with trying to find Relisha. It was more about trying to find more about the kidnapper's life, asking, about, him and his wife's relationship and this, that, and the other, just questions that had nothing to do with finding out what happened to her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even years later, the woman would not even take a lie detector test, even though it's not admissible in court and to me it's TV. She wouldn't take it a lie detector test on a Steve Wilkos show. This woman is so guilty.
Right. And when I spoke with the grandmother, we talked about the lie detector test, and she said she took one, Miss Young, Melissa Young, and she passed it. Well, it's it's kind of easy to pass a lie detector test, even if you're guilty. If you could do a little drug, smoke a little weed or whatever, you can relax yourself. You can pass it. So just because they passed it does not mean that that they are innocent. And when I was speaking with the grandmother, and I was talking about her daughter, and I told her, I said, well, it's a lot of things just doesn't make sense. For one, I don't know any woman in her right mind would give her child over to somebody that she barely knows to take care of, because at that time they were all living in a shelter, and she has 3 boys, right?
Yeah, she has 3 boys: Andre, Irvin Jr., and Antonio Jr.
Okay, well, here's my problem, Keith. If the place is unfit for your child, it should be unfit for all of your children.
Exactly.
So she turned her little girl over to the janitor, and I don't know how much she knew about him, but it's baffling to me that you would give the girl to him, and he's known for giving girls at the homeless shelter special attention along with gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the place was that bad, why not send the boys with him too? But she didn't do that. And that's
something that we're trying to figure out as well. It's the fact of the matter that she always let Relisha go with him and everything, but I still wonder to this day. And I've asked her the question time and time again: why did the boys go? And she beat around the bush when it came to that question.
And I asked the grandmother that, and she did the same thing. Take us back to that day when all this got started and how he wound up with the child. And I know you've done some investigating on Tatum, and tell us a little bit about him, but because a lot of people don't know how the story really got started.
Well, Tatum was a janitor at the DC General homeless shelter here in DC, which is the old DC General Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That hospital was closed, and for good reason, because we considered that hospital the death hospital. But he's tried with other mothers with children and things like that, and when he tried with Shamika and Relisha, he got a green light, and it started out with just giving, little trinkets here and there, and then to a point where she was considered as Relisha's godfather and taking her out, supposed to have been to play with a granddaughter.
Okay.
Now, we later found out that, and this was from Tatum's own nephew, that there is no granddaughter. There's a grandson, but there is no granddaughter.
My Lord.
But he would, take Relisha to the store, and he bought her a tablet and things like that. Would always bring her back. He's even taken her to down Atlanta, Georgia, without permission.
Okay.
There was a time where the grandmother had called Tatum to see what was going on, see what he can do about her tablet or whatnot, and he asked her if he knew if she knew where he was, and at the time the grandmother was like, she should, you should be at Georgia, or getting ready for your Georgia trip. I guess they were getting ready for a trip with his wife and his daughter and his grandchild. And kind of find out they were already in Georgia, and Relisha was with him without the mother's permission. Now, me personally, as a parent, if my child is with this man without my permission out of state, I'm calling the police right then and there. But instead, Shamika told him to bring her back that Sunday, which was supposed to have been for a birthday party or rather.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time is when everything started going crazy, and the whole video with the hotel and seeing him with the lime and the trash bags and things of that nature. And this, like I said, this investigation is so crazy because it's also, we think that there's an accomplice that was with Mr. Tatum, and we're looking into him named Ricky Sheridan Riles. And this guy's fingerprint was found in the truck that also had the fingerprints of Relisha in there.
Okay.
The mother, the grandmother, the aunt, and the stepfather, they all have been pointing fingers at each other since day one. And they may seem like they're against each other, but really they talking every day to each other. They're a very dysfunctional family.
So this was the time when, because shortly after Shamika, the mother, gave the child over to Tatum, I think it was February 25th or 26th.
Yeah, it was 26.
26, okay. Shortly after that, I think March 19th somewhere, Relisha had accumulated over 30 absence from school.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks. It took a school counselor to make a house visit to find out that Relisha has been missing, and Shamika didn't know where she was. There was a note going around from a Dr. Tatum excusing her for the migraines that she was having. And it even had his phone number on there, and it was given to the school.
Now, when you said Dr. Tatum, I know we've been talking about a Tatum that's a janitor, was a janitor at the homeless shelter.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy.
So, with your investigation, why was a doctor working as a janitor at a homeless shelter?
He forged his name as a doctor.
So he's not a doctor?
He's not a doctor. He fraudulently considered himself and made a doctor's note as if he was a doctor, trying to excuse her of her absence. And the thing about it is that's so funny. Around that time, the way the note was written, doctors don't do doctor's notes like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just handwritten notes with a phone number and things like that. They don't do that. That's one of the red flags. They gave that counselor a reason to go and make a house visit.
Okay.
So basically, if it wasn't for this counselor jumping into action, we wouldn't have probably never found out about Relisha.
Okay, someone is asking, I think it's her name is Michelle Butler. She says maybe she trusted him. What's your response to that?
Well, yeah, she trusted him. She trusted him. I mean, of course, if you're that type of woman, that where all it takes is flashing, money and stuff that you never had in your face and everything, of course, yeah, if you that type of woman, yeah, you gonna trust that.
Okay.
She's even still to this day defending him.
Yeah, I watched a video of her when I thought the reporter was giving her a hard time, but as it went on, I'm like, no, the reporter's trying to get some answers there. But it looked as if Shamika Young was defending Tatum, and even when I spoke with the grandmother to a degree, she began to do the same thing. My granddaughter calls him Godfather. She loves him. Well, I'm sure you would agree. A child will love any damn body that pays him some attention and give him candy and buy him things and stuff, and with the mother's approval. So she began to call him Godfather, but he wasn't.
Amen. Yeah, that's true.
And so, I found that strange. Also found strange is when I think those what you're talking about with the school. It's when the police got involved and asked the mother if she wanted to file a missing persons report. What happened then? Keith, did she do it?
Well, at first she didn't do it. The police pushed her and made her actually do it. I believe that they made a threat to arrest her, which I still say they should have did in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because in fact she did not want to report her daughter missing. And the messed up thing about it is she gave the police so many different stories, and she gave them so many different false leadways that that's that's the reason why the Amber Alert was really so messed up. The police had a late start with this. And I truly believe had she had not played games with this and was telling all these lies and things like that, Relisha probably would have been found.
Well, you know, yeah,
found.
right. That was kind of the same thing with the Maleah Lynn Davis case. The Amber Alert was somewhat late going out, but that was only because Darion's vent story kept changing.
Right, and that's the same thing with Shamika, because the fact of the matter, at first it started off with just the DMV area, because it was told that she was still in the DMV and everything, but once they learned about her taking the trip down Georgia and things like that and everything, that's when they made it worldwide. And the funny thing about it is, she'll go around now talking about the police did not do enough, enough for her, you know, or didn't do enough to help find her daughter, when you're the one that gave them the information that they can only run by.
Keith, you are reading my mind, because when I watched a video earlier today, in so many ways, Shamika Young blamed you, the media, the police department, for not doing enough to get the story out there. She believed if y'all had done more, then she probably would have her daughter. But in my mind, I'm going, no, you gave your daughter away. You did.
I love it. I love the fact that she's blaming, you know, us and, you know, everybody else and everything. The fact that, the fact of the matter is, you know, you got people like myself, my wife, and the rest of my team and everything. You know, me personally, you know, I'm always doing my radio show no matter where I'm at, whether I'm at dialysis or in the hospital or at home or no matter what. If I have to do the show, I'm going to do the show regardless and everything. And, you know, had it not been for the work that we've done, Relisha probably wouldn't have been, her story probably wouldn't have been out there like it is and everything. I mean, because of us advocating so much for her, her show's been on America Tonight, which is a worldwide show on Al Jazeera. It's been all over the news. We've done visuals for her. We've done a plethora of things for her and everything, and even to this day, we're the only media so far that's going on every week on our podcast, talking the case and things that's going on. You know, just trying to, you know, is aware of this case.
Right. You know, and I asked the grandmother, because a lot of things bothered me when I got off into this case. Of course, you know way more than I do, but in a report I was reading that when the child was being absent from school, Shamika, I hope I got the timeline right, said that her daughter was out of town with Dr. Tatum because they was at a medical conference. Is that did she say that?
Yeah, I heard that slightly, but she changed that up. She did say that at one time, but she changed that up real quick. Because it made no sense. Why would she be at a medical conference with a doctor?
Exactly. So to me, she's suspect because from day one, you have not cooperated with authorities in trying to locate your child. Instead, you have been campaigning in Tatum's defense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're all suspect, especially with the fact of the matter that she even said herself she didn't want to be a mother. She was jealous of Relisha and her talents. Relisha was a very talented young girl. She was on the cheerleading squad. She loved to sing. She was an artist, you know, and I can touch base with her on that because I'm an artist myself. Mm-hmm. And there have been witnesses that have told about how she has cut her daughter's plaits. She has pulled the baby's hair. even with the stepfather, witnesses talk about how he molested Relisha. And it is very sad to say that. Like I always say, they can say that they took the lie detector test so they blew in the face. I've taken a lie detector test before and I've beaten it.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah, they teach you that stuff in the Marine Corps. How to keep calm and this, that, and the other and everything. I also, was on the police force as well. They teach us these things. What they don't realize is that they're already in trouble for child neglect and child endangerment.
Exactly.
And, we have a petition already out as well for that to get it signed. So the proper congressman, matter of fact, we have Congressman, Ward 8 Council Member, I'm sorry, I said Congressman, Ward 8 Council Member Treon White helping us out with the whole situation and everything. Once we get the proper signatures and everything, we present that to them and everything and try to at least get them locked up for child endangerment and child neglect for starters.
Exactly.
It's already, me personally, I believe that if you put all of them in one room together, somebody's going to start arguing until the truth's somewhere.
Exactly. What do you think about maybe somewhere in past time that the mother knew Tatum? Did you think they just met when they was at the shelter? Because I think you said they was there for right at 2 years, right?
Yeah, about 2 years, yeah.
And the boyfriend of the husband, was he there too?
Yeah. Now, it's already been said, and I later found out that at first, it was already saying that Tatum and Melissa Young used to smoke crack together.
Oh my God.
It's also been said that Tatum used to work with Shamika and Ashley's grandmother, which is probably Melissa's mother or their father's mother. But that's how they know Tatum. And this has been said on my radio show as well from Antonio's mother, that Ashley told them that themselves. And this really put an antenna up of whether Relisha was even Tatum's own daughter.
My Lord. It gets stranger and stranger.
Yes, it does. It does.
Tanya Sims has a comment. She says she believes that the child may have been sold to sex trafficking. What is your response to that?
Well, the sex trafficking thing has been going around since day one. We have been looking into that, and it's a strong possibility that could be it. There are different hypotheses when it comes to this case and everything. One of them is the fact that she could have been sold to sex trafficking. There has been also rumor having it that she's still living and she's in Georgia with a family member of the Tatum family. And we've been trying to do research on that more and more. I've been trying to get the nephew back on my show because he's the one that said that she was down in Georgia, and I'm trying to get him on the show to say that because we have police listening to the show and things like that and everything. And I'm trying to get him to tell who she's with and if he's seen this for himself. But sex trafficking is one of the thoughts. And another one is, like I said, the fact that she could be down with family of the Tatum family in Georgia, somewhere hiding out. They could have changed her look, cut her hair, made her look like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
All types of things that could be, thought when it comes to this case. But with the sex trafficking and everything, she's not wrong about that. That's been a big issue.
Someone is asking, why did Tatum take her to Georgia? I think this is Miss Butler is asking this question.
It was supposed to have been for a family trip with him, his wife, his daughter, and the grandchild. Supposed to be a family trip down there. And like I said before, permission was not given by Shamika to take her down there, but he did it anyway.
I looked, because I watched it over and over again, and I watched it right before airtime, the surveillance video of Tatum and Relisha at the hotel, and it showed them coming in, and then they was going out, and then they got to their door, and I think the child went in first. But what really captured my attention was how Tatum looked directly up at the camera.
I noticed that too.
You did, yeah. Yeah, and so that tells me that something wasn't right. He appeared to be somewhat nervous, but the child, she had a bag. She was seemed to be normal. But let me ask you about the deaths of Tatum. Well, the wife was found first, and then Tatum. Tell us about those two incidents, and do you think they're tied to what's going on with Relisha?
Well, first person that was found dead was the wife, and I believe it was a week later or 2 weeks later, Tatum was found dead in a shed in Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens. Now, me personally, I honestly think that the wife found out about something and they hadn't did nothing but kill her. But I also had reason to believe that this guy, again, Ricky Sheridan Lyles, did the killing. It's been rumored that Tatum has 2 gunshot wounds. Both of them instantly will kill you. One under the chin, one in the temple. Can't do that with one gun. It was a 6-shooter.
My Lord, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, and even she said it on the Steve Wilkos show. She mentioned you can't kill yourself twice. But police had questioned this guy, Ricky Lyles, and didn't see that he was a POI, person of interest.
Okay.
But I think they need to question him all over again, because maybe they didn't ask the right questions. And the same thing with the family. They need to question them all over again because they need to see what I've seen. And that's the fact that their stories change and flip so many times that it makes no sense. One day the sky is green, the next day the sky is red, the next day the sky is blue.
Exactly. When I spoke with the grandmother, I asked her about why would her daughter give her granddaughter to a man, supposedly that she really don't know, regardless to how long she has been at the shelter. And I said, I mean, I find it strange that no family member would take the kids in. Well, I got two answers. 'Cause I asked it one way and then another later. The first answer was that no, they couldn't come because I was here. And I think her name was Alicia. Is that it? Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley.
Ashley and Ashley said that the kids couldn't. They could all come there, I think, but the boyfriend of the husband could not come there. Well, now if that would be the case, then since the boyfriend of the husband is also at the shelter and they've been there for 2 years, it would appear to me that he's not trying to do a damn thing to pull him out of the damn hole. So let his ass stay and go to family for a while.
Well, the thing about it is, Antonio is a worthless man. He's not even a man at all. Mm-hmm. Had that been my family, I would have never had them in a shelter in the first place. Mm-hmm. Second, Ashley and Antonio never got along.
Okay.
Even on the show when they were arguing, Antonio was disrespecting her, calling her a fat bitch and this, that, and the other and everything. And that's the type of person that he is. He's a bitch of a man. He throws temper tantrums. If he doesn't get things his way, or his words isn't heard out and everything, he acts like a big ass kid and everything. Like right now, the fact of the matter that we're not on his side, and we caught him in his bullshit. Mm-hmm. He goes to Facebook Live and he tries to call himself bashing us, and even have thrown threats and things of that nature and everything. And it just like I said, it's a 3-ring circus with these clowns. And they're not worried about the key thing at hand, which is finding Relisha or bringing justice to Relisha.
Exactly. Victoria, thank you kindly. You've been with him. You've spoken with him a lot. When you speak with him or see him, what vibe do you get when you speak with him? Because when I spoke with the grandmother, and I know it's been a minute, if she is not found by March 1st, it would be, 6 years?
Yeah.
But when I spoke with the grandmother, it was just, she was a little too relaxed. And
she probably was high.
And she talked about it. She looked high. She talked about the fact that she get high, and she still doesn't have her own place. She's still staying with Ashley. So I mean, it's been damn near 6 years, and she hadn't moved on either. So it looks like maybe only one or two had some get up or go by them in the family. But she was just a little too relaxed. I asked her, when was the last time you spoke with Shamika, your daughter? Oh, just yesterday. And I mean, okay, that's your daughter. I know, but if it was my daughter and my grandchild was missing and something just wasn't right, and I'm looking at my daughter, well, we probably would talk from time to time, but it really it wouldn't be happy talks a lot, because I've always got that in the back of my mind about my granddaughter missing, and I asked her about that, and she said, no, she don't want you to ever bring that up. Well, we would have to stop talking because I would bring it up every damn time.
This family is, they all don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out.
My mama used to say that.
They're always looking for what I call the BDD, the bigger, better deal. Mm-hmm.
And I can see that, especially with the shelter thing, because when you and I spoke about it, I'm like, well, damn. I mean, they were still there after 2 years, and I know sometimes that can be beneficial to you when you don't have to pay rent or whatever. Somebody else take care of you and put the damn bills. So being homeless sometimes has some benefits. If you hang out on the corner long enough with one cup and you get it filled up, or you'll go back tomorrow with another cup and get that filled up. And then you get relaxed and okay, well, it's not as bad as I thought. We're fine. And I think they're all a bunch of sad individuals. And I agree with you when you said the police need to re-interview all of them. I totally agree with you on that because somebody knows something. I asked the grandmother what she thought was going on with her granddaughter. She said, I think she's still alive and she's here somewhere close by me.
Me personally, I can't really say if she's alive or dead. Me, given the facts, she may be alive, she may be dead. Now we've even had psychic mediums on our show, and each one of these mediums has felt her being deceased. One of them that's a part of my team has stated that she was thrown in the Chesapeake Bay or the Potomac River, a big body of water, and over the years her body disintegrated and decayed and broken into pieces and could be drifted out to sea and put in. There may be some remains in certain pipe areas and things like that. If that is true, then there's no way of actually finding a body. Only way that justice can be brought right now is if somebody speaks up. And each one of those family members, if not a lot, they know a piece of what happened to this child. They can sit up there and talk about that they don't know this till they blue in the face. I know better. I dealing with other missing person cases as well as my own cousin's case. I've seen a lot of bullshit. And that's what this family gives. And this is one of the reasons why I'm starting a volunteer missing persons task force in DC, because the fact of the matter that DC does not have a missing persons unit. And I was a member and still talk to the members of the Alliance of the Guardian Angels. I was a member of the Guardian Angels for 10 years. And this gave me the idea to start the volunteer missing persons task force and everything, where they only work. Well, the only thing that we work with is missing persons cases, to help, where the police, they got so many different cases to deal with, murder cases, theft cases, things like that and everything. Our focus is only on, missing persons and things like that and everything, trying to bring justice to a lot of cases that haven't even been closed. Mainly Relisha's case, that I feared that had we not kept going with the case and talking about it, people would forget. People would definitely forget about Relisha if they haven't already done that.
And I think there are some people who wish you would shut up and leave it alone.
There are so many people that call themselves advocates for Relisha when they just all bark and no bite. They talk about it. I say this on my show all the time. if the DMV area is so selfish, and I say this because the fact of the matter, if this was one of those little small podunk towns where it's one of those Mayberry, Andy Griffith type areas and everything, where if a little girl, if anybody goes missing, the community comes together and find that person, whether it's a day or a week, they come together and find that person. But DC ain't going to do that because they're so narcissistic and against each other that they don't want to come together. They want to try to beat everybody else in the game instead of coming on one accord, and that's finding the missing. But DC, like I said, DC cannot do that because DC is too selfish. They worry about themselves. Mm-hmm. They're not like these towns where they come together as a whole and find the missing and end up finding them whether dead or alive because they come together as one. And that was one of the problems with this case. When I first started this case, I started the Relisha Rudd Task Force where we volunteers went out looking for Relisha, and we had a plethora of people. Mm-hmm. But because of Shamika and the rest of them running their mouth, starting rumors and things like that, people have broken off away from me, started their own thing, and they're fucking up the case. They're seriously messing up the case because the fact of the matter is they want to do things for themselves. They want to sit up there and they want to bash, myself, my team, things like that and everything, and not looking at the bigger picture that we're trying to bring justice and just trying to find this baby girl. And, they're trying to, we got people that's trying to get clout behind this little girl's name.
I think when you get to a point to whether you're mainstream media or not, when you get to a point to where you're right there on the money, then certain people that's involved get nervous. And that's when you and your wife begin to get placed under attack because I believe you're right there at the door. And as we talked earlier, if we can find out what it is that you're on the money with, then maybe we can bring this little girl home or find her, whatever the case.
Well, most definitely, because it's something that we got because, it's gotten to a point now where, they've threatened to cut my wife's face and I got time for all that. She's told Shamika, to drop her location. She won't do that, but she'll be a Facebook thug and an internet gangster quick.
Let me tell you something about the damn internet thugs. They get on my everlasting damn nerves because they say shit that they know if they were in your face, they wouldn't even think about saying some of the things that they said through social media. They're just a bunch of damn, you're right, internet thugs. And it's ridiculous because if my child, who's talking about it? Maybe you can find out something that the police department cannot find out. But then when people are involved in it, naturally, they don't want you to continue what you're doing. But I applaud you and your wife for your diligence and your genuine concern for all the missing kids in this country. And if there's anything that we can do on this end, I promise you, if you or your wife would call, consider it done. I don't know what's going on. I understood when in slavery time, when Black mothers would have babies, and sometimes rather than let that child be up under the white man's umbrella, the mother would kill the child before she give the child over to the white man. I understood it back then, but what's going on now with parents beating the kids and throwing them away and killing them. I cannot understand why they're doing it now. And Shamika Young has shown more than 101 red flags that whatever is going on or has happened to this little girl, she is 100% involved in it.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I forgot to let everyone know. Our show's on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. You can also hear us on Spotify. Just look up the Relisha Rudd podcast.
Okay.
We're on Blog Talk Radio. You can call in and listen, and you can also we give you time to say what speak your comments, speak your mind on the case and things like that. We're roughly on for about 3 hours.
Okay.
And you can also find us on Facebook at the RRTF, which is Relisha Rudd Task Force, and the Missing Persons Task Force DC. So they can't say, Shamika and them can't say that nobody's not out there talking about Relisha. Because we're doing it every day, even when we're not on the air.
And but one thing we have to keep, what she has to keep in mind, had you not thrown your child away, you would probably have her now. So anything that someone does should be considered a blessing, because I don't know a mother in her right mind would just give her daughter over to a man. And so,
like it was said, the fact of the matter is that she knows what she did wrong, and she's definitely going to get hers for that. She didn't want to be a mother. She already stated that.
Belinda, I'm not understanding your comment. Good evening, Spitty Pie.
That's my wife. She's mentioning the part where she was threatened, and Shamika has threatened to cut her face.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I read the comment. I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Shamika's threatened to cut her face and wanted to fight her. Even talked about how she'll take my wife from me.
My God.
She goes on a false Facebook name. At first it was Tia something, and then once I put that out in the airwaves, she changed it to Jackie, I believe, Wilson or something like that. But she has a fake page that she tries to troll us under.
You know, it sounds like that her and Brittany Bowens might be connected, because I know they're here now. They're always here. If you only become a factor when you're on to something, and so we both understand that. I know that this cannot be the last time that we have you on the show, because there's a lot more to discuss concerning this case. So I know we're going to have you back on. I appreciate you coming on. Good evening, Belinda. I did not know that was you. Please forgive me. I'm getting old. Anything that we can do on this side, again, I promise you, Keith, we are more than happy to do it.
Oh, and the same goes, on this side. We've mentioned Malia a couple of times, on our show and everything. So anything we can do to help, we'll help us in any way we can.
I thank you, Count, and also I know you all also did something earlier for Maleah Davis' birthday, and from my heart to yours, I thank you deeply for that, because as you made a promise to Relisha, I've made a promise to Malia, so that's why the others don't matter when they get upset with me for doing shows on this child. and I'm going to.
Oh, it's gotten so bad where I've been a professional wrestler since I was 8 years old, and they've come to my wrestling matches.
What the hell?
Oh yeah, they've come to my wrestling matches trying to start stuff.
Well, maybe they just want you to body slam them. Some folks freaky like that.
Oh my God.
We got to get out of here. I'm out of time. Keith Davis, if you send me the links to your shows and your Facebook page, I will share them on our Injustice page for the people, and so they can contact you and stuff. I appreciate you so much for coming on to the show tonight. I really do.
No problem. No problem. Thank you very much.
Now, for all of you again, I see you doing it now. You're saying happy birthday to Malia. From my heart to yours, I thank you big time. Brittany Bowens and Shamika are being compared to each other. I'm sure you know that. They sound like they might be sisters there. We love you guys so much. I thank you for your continued genuine support for this show. But share the post, share the story, keep it alive, keep talking about it, and keep looking for. We may be the only hope that this child has. Again, Keith, thank you. Belinda, thank you as well. Be it the Lord willing, I will see you all again next week, unless there is another breaking story. Keith, before we go, do you want to say anything about Gayle King? You're welcome if you want to.
You know, nothing about Gayle King, like I said to you earlier, I am a huge Kobe Bryant fan. Even when I played basketball, I begged my coach to give me his number when I was playing basketball. We played the same position, everything. For Gayle King to say something like that really pissed me off. And like I said, she's for these white folks that don't, these racist white folks that aren't for the black community.
Mm-hmm.
She's for these ones that want to down the black community. She was against Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to come out and just talk about it, you know, I was always taught never talk ill about the dead.
That's it.
And for Oprah to be such a powerful person to, you know, affiliate herself with somebody to say something like that about a great basketball player as Kobe, she lost her mind. And it appalls me to even have seen and heard Gayle, you know, talk about Kobe in his untimely demise.
Exactly.
Because she gonna get hers for that.
Exactly. I can't call all their names, but a lot of viewers are saying thank you for coming on to the show tonight, and thank you for what you're doing. And 777G says keep pressing on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. Maleah Lynn Davis, as long as I live, your story will never die. I thank you all for listening to tonight's show. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.